Hello, everybody. Dr. Marion Wallace dropping in on you. I've been out of the office all day. Uh, First, I was working earlier today in Marion's office. Now I'm at Starbucks. I just need to get out of the house. For those who don't know, my office is set up in my house. I've had it at home now for about 3 years, and definitely considering getting back out and having an external office away from home and letting home be home. Really enjoying this time away from the office side of it. I've been home for a little bit, but it was to fellowship with family and deal with the kids and everything like that. I've already weighed in on how I choose to remember Kobe Bryant. Those who don't know me know that Kobe is like that dude as far as athletes I admire for their play in the NBA, and then Mike Jordan, and then a couple of others, uh, that I look at. And I grew up in the Jordan area, so I grew up, where every kid was trying to be like Mike and all of that. So I've already talked about. My thing is when I think about Kobe Bryant, I wouldn't necessarily use the term devastated to talk about how I felt about it when my son told me. First of all, disbelief, then shock, sadness for his family, sadness for the shortness of life, definitely sadness for the death of his baby. She was only 13, but I wouldn't use the word devastated. Devastated is probably how I felt with the death of Bryce Gowdy, a young black man, 17 years old, who took his life by jumping in front of a train. Things like that just stick with me. Uh, a couple of these babies that died over the course of 2019 that landed in front of me. Of course, I'm at Starbucks, so you can get a lot of background noise. Those things stick out to me. While it is definitely sad and it's disheartening, I reserve the term for devastated for a different type thing, and I'm not diminishing what happened to him. I'm very sad for his family. My heart goes out to the family, and I'm not marginalizing anyone who feels devastated. Um, Everybody connects with people they don't know in a different way. So there's this uniqueness about feeling for certain people. I think, we saw that probably most. The two that I can think about the most would be the death of Princess Diana and the death of Michael Jackson. I'm pretty sure, those who are old enough remember what happened with Elvis and Martin and Malcolm and things like that. People have connections to people in different ways, and they have a right to feel about that the way they want to feel about it. I'm not going to be one of those people who sit up and say, you didn't even know him. Well, you don't have to know someone to have a connection to him. That's the unbelievable gift we have of empathy that can extend far beyond those we actually know. I don't tell somebody how to deal with it. How I'm dealing with it is I'm choosing to look at how he lived. He lived his life at the pinnacle of what he loved, and he strived for that. It wasn't given to him. He wasn't birthed into it. He worked into it, and he decided he was going to be the best he can be. And he went for, he shot for the ceiling. He shot to be the greatest. And he's one of the best to ever do it. And so he leaves behind a legacy. So the question I asked in my previous video before I move on to the topic, uh, the topic that I want to talk about here is how will you be remembered? That's what I get from this. Is will you be someone who is at the pinnacle of what you're passionate about? Are you going to invest enough of yourself into something that you master it at a level that you're able to have this unbelievable impact on the world? Will people talk about you? People who don't know you talk about you after you're gone. That's the question. Not because of something, because you're going to be gone. It won't be an ego stroke. You'll be gone. But it speaks to the impact you had on the world and whatever you did. I choose to touch lives. And I'm hoping that by the time that I'm done doing this, people will remember me for touching lives, for caring about something other than myself. So when I think about that, that's what it drives me to be someone that is so invested in being the best I could be at what I do, that I leave a living and lasting impression long after I'm gone. And on that note, now on another thing, You know, when things like this happen, everybody comes out of the woodwork. Those who have very little respect for certain things that some of us hold sacred. I've had people I considered to be an enemy when they passed away. That was not the time for me to take my shot. That was the time for me to back off, let their family grieve, and make sure that I'm not adding to the grief of the family. But that doesn't mean that that's what's happening in situations like this. This is when they come out the woodwork, a chance to take a shot, chance to make a little fame for oneself by attacking someone famous. I'm not going to even really give that a whole lot of attention. I think it's shameful. I think it's sad. I think it speaks to the state of where we're at right now as a people, as a nation, as a culture, as a society. I think that we could go in, and I'm not going to talk about the man's personal past and the things he did. Not right now. I'll address it at another time if it's still an issue after this is settled. I'll address it. Being a fan, I've got a lot of information and instances on that, but that's not why I'm here. Why I'm here is there's a reporter that was reporting on this that while addressing it said the LA N word correction Lakers. She has come back and since said she mixed up the Knicks and the Lakers and got Knickers. And from what I can tell, that was a very strong and distinctly pronounced G, not CK. But that's what she's coming back. And the thing is, what we have to realize is we have to come out of the idea that white people behave among themselves the same way they behave in front of us. Uh, of course, not all, but a significant number of them talk about us in derogatory ways when we're not around them. It's not uncommon for them to use the N word. In fact, they use it a lot when we aren't around them. And occasionally you'll have a Freudian slip where you'll sit up and you'll be thinking that about a person, but planning on saying something acceptable, and what you're thinking comes out. It's what happens. Here's what it is. She gets absolutely no benefit of the doubt with me. I'm currently, I'm currently uh, just at a point where I have absolutely no tolerance for blatant disrespect. And here's the thing: is I'm not asking them to change it. I'm just not dealing with it. If I see it, I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to support it. I'm not going to be out there. Um, and if me not dealing with it helps to create some kind of idea of how we're going to deal with the people who allow that to happen, I think it was CNN. I'm not sure, but whatever uh, media outlet that she belongs to, she needs to be fired. If not, stop watching it, stop supporting it, stop giving it your attention. It's simple. You're either going to respect me or I'm going to move on. And then people are saying, well, eventually you're going to run out of media outlets. Eventually you're going to run out of retail stores. Eventually, well, that means we need to build our own. We need to build something that will automatically respect us because it relates to us. We can't keep begging them to bend in order to keep our business. That's a false relationship. That's like somebody pretending to be something to get with you, and then you get together and you find out they're not who they thought that they said they were, but now you're invested with them. We need to learn. We need to learn how to be for us. Not, I mean, not even in the sense of being against them. I don't have the energy to be against anyone specific for a specific or direct thing. Now, I'm going to automatically be against you if you're against me. If you're against my people, if you're against what I love, then I'm going to stand against you, not because of anything that I feel towards you, but because of the way you're behaving toward me. And I'm going to do it with an intensity and a ferocity that is unmistakable. I'm going to do it and say it and behave unapologetically in direct correspondence to what I believe and what I feel. I'm not here to make somebody like me. I'm not here to make somebody understand me. I'm here to live for the best possible outcome for my family and my people. And so when I see stuff like that, I shake my head and I smile. It's just another one that came out and revealed who they really are. And so, what are we going to do about it? Again, we support what supports us. We support what treats us right. We stand with what stands with us. It's not that difficult. It's real simple. We don't need to get all up in arms. We don't need to get upset because somebody being who they've always been. That's not how we're going to win this thing. We're going to win because we're going to become everything we need to become. And so what someone else thinks about us, how someone else acts toward us, is not going to matter. At some point, we're going to be so strong that we will set the tone for how people act around us and with us because we will be making our presence felt, not because we'll be begging them to do something or begging them to accept us or begging them to treat us a certain way. It's time out for begging. It's time out for pleading. It's time out for that. What we need to be doing is doing the best we can. Like I said at the top of this particular broadcast, look, say what you want about Kobe, but Kobe lived his life. He lived his life on full. He went out and he did stuff that nobody's ever done. He did stuff that's crazy remarkable. And he left a legacy that spoke to what he was passionate about and what he loved. That's what we should be doing. We should be living our lives on full. Find something you're passionate about. Find something that can touch somebody's life. Find something that can inspire someone. Those are the things that we should be living for. Living to be big, living to be massive in this world, to fill our space. So, with that being said, I'm not gonna stay on this too long, but I had to get that out and among you guys. Hopefully, you know, uh, I'm pretty sure that his family, Kobe's family, is got plenty of support. To his, uh, his parents, his wife, surviving children. I couldn't imagine being his wife, having lost a husband and a child. Uh, you know, that losing a child is extremely unnatural, and to bury someone that you've spent your entire adult life with uh, is crazy. So, that's where my energy is going is just lifting them up in the way that I do it, and just being inspired to sit up and understand that tomorrow's not promised, and that you go out and you live each day on full. I don't know how many times you've heard me say that. Live your life on full so that you die on E. That's how I'm gonna do it. So on that note, I'm out of here. You guys have an unbelievable rest of your Sunday. I'm about to get back to what I'm doing and finish up so I can get away from here. And we'll talk some more on tomorrow. I'm out.